Hello everyone, how are you feeling today? It's Everyone here, and today I'm coming at you with my Deskbot deck profile. Now this is the third deck that you guys voted to for Choose My Deck Profile. It's a very fun deck, pretty cheap, pretty straightforward from attacking your opponent's face. It can also have the ability to go first as well, but this is mostly the go second version, I would like to call it. If you're going first, of course you would like to side different cards. But this deck is really fun, it's pretty cheap, and there are some cards here that are a little bit more expensive, but I'm going to give you guys budget options through the cards themselves. As well as that, I'm going to announce right now that I'm probably going to do the Trickstar deck profile at the end of the week as well. Just because I feel like I have so many new cards that have just arrived last week, and I can do so many cool deck profiles, so I might actually going to bump right back up the number of videos per week to be 2 per week instead of 1, but we will see. So let's get started with the deck profile itself. So starting things off with the Deskbot lineup, we're going to run 1 copy of Deskbot 1, 3 copies of Deskbot 2, 3 copies of Deskbot 3, 3 copies of Deskbot 4, 3 copies of Deskbot 5, 2 6, 1 7, 1 8, and 1 9. Now, for a quick explanation of all of them, Deskbot 1 is the one that you only want to run at 1, in my opinion, at the very least. I've seen people run it at 2, I just specifically don't think you need to. He's a card that get boosted by every Deskbot by himself, which is really big. He can become really big, and he's also can special summon himself from the graveyard, not a hard one per turn. When you special summon you special summon 2 machines, which is really cool. I think he can also 2 machines or more, if I believe correctly. Deskbot 2 just boosts all of your other machine monsters by 500 except himself. And then also when he's get to special summon against not a harder ones per turn, you get to search a Deskbot card. Deskbot 3 is the ones that tune up directly from your deck the exact Deskbot that you need. And he also can boost a Deskbot monster for the number of Deskbots that you have. Deskbot 4 is mostly your Foolish Burial, getting over big monsters. Don't really deal any damage, but then you can just special summon 2 additional Deskbots from your grave or hand, which is really cool, with different level and defense position, which can then trigger up Deskbot 1 effect a lot more easily. Deskbot 5 is your MST on normal or special summon, and when you get popped in the scale, he become a Monster Reborn. 6 is kind of like a changing battle position when he's normal special summon, which kind of making him less relevant, so that's why I run only a 2. And then when he's getting popped in the scale, he become something like a warrior returning a live card to get your Deskbot cards back from your grave. 7 just giving your monsters piercing damage, and your opponent monster can only attack it. And 8 is pretty much make a Deskbot monster attack twice. Same idea as 7 is opponent monster can only attack it. 9 is pretty much your big beater. If you want to summon him to the board, he can get over everything, but only he can attack when he gets the attack of all your other Deskbots. Which I think is pretty self-explanatory for any lineup of Deskbots, these 18 Deskbots. But if you feel differently and you want to run a second 2 or third 6 or second 7 or 8 and then cut the 9, you're more than welcome to. In my opinion, this is just the solid lineup for any Deskbot build. So yeah, that pretty much does it for that. Now we'll move on to the other monster engines, which is 3 copies of a Symphonic Warrior guitar, as well as 2 mics, to give yourself an extra normal summon, because Deskbot 3, where is he specifically? Deskbot 3 is very important. You get to normal summoning him once is really good, but if you get to normal summoning him twice, it's insane. So if you open up with it, normal summon it, and then specifically special summon also a Deskbot 2, then machine dupe the Deskbot 2 to search another 2 copies of cards, and then search another Deskbot 3, and then normal summon again with the effect of guitar or whatever, guitars and then special summon mics. You get an additional monster on board as well for, for free pretty much. So it's really good. like it a lot, and in my opinion, you want to run this lineup of Symphonic Warriors because you sometimes see the mics in your hand that you don't really want to, but it's not the end of the world if you see mics in your hand, but you mostly prefer to search it with guitar specifically, so that's why I run this lineup like this. And then the last monster I run is one copy of Glow-a-Bulb, because Glow-a-Bulb is just a really good monster. I mean, you can cut it down if you feel like it's not really good, but like it's a 1-for-1 target, it's an earth, it's a discarding fodder, it's not really a brick in any case, shape, or form, but if you feel like it, you can just cut this card down completely. And that pretty much does it for the monsters. Now we'll move on to the spells. So first off is the card that I think is like probably the card that is probably the most expensive in the main deck, and that's 3 copies of Urgent Schedule. This card is absolutely insane. This card is pretty much like your... this is why, like, this is a version of Deskbots. My apologies for, like, mumbling for a second. But this card specifically is what make Deskbot going second even better, and Earth Machine generally going second even better, which is really awesome. You tune it up from your deck if your opponent have more than your monsters, like you have nothing, for example, or your opponent have like even one monster, you get into summon like a Deskbot 1, and then you can even summon like a Deskbot 9 if you feel like it, and then just go for a Deskbot base or not base, a jet, or just go into like, a Link 2 monster. Just a really good card. Really helpful. But if you don't have the money for it, I might actually recommend to cut one of your main deck monsters, like maybe a Deskbot monster, and then like probably this, and probably run for like additional monsters as well, like the Ancient Gear engine that I like to run in my previous Deskbot build, which was 3 Wyvern and one box, Ancient Gear box. You're more than welcome to run that, or if you want a special summoning engine, you're more than welcome to like run Cyber Dragons or Pankratops or whatever you feel like it, that like you could help you, because this card is absolutely insane going second. But if you guys don't have the money for it, because it's a very high price card, I believe it's like $18 now, if not 20 for a copy, which I was able to get it when it's like was 5, which was kind of weird because like it was like for a few days like $5, but right now it's very high price. So just if you don't have the money for it, there are other alternatives like I said, the Ancient Gear engine that you can run, Cyber Dragons, Pankratops that can also be really useful for going second. So it's not the end of the world not having this card, but if you have the money for this card, you're more than welcome to. Also, another alternative that I forgot is probably could be Instant Fusion if you feel like it. But that's taking a little bit spots in your extra deck, so, it's totally up to your choice. And then 3 copies of Machine Duplication, because we all know what Machine Duplication does. This card is insane in Deskbots, even more in Cyber Dragons, because you can just target all of your Deskbot monsters if they haven't boosted their attacks yet, and just summon multiple copies of them, which is absolutely insane. Especially with Deskbot 2, because that's mean an additional 2 free searches. Then 3 copies of Call by the Grave, because I hate hand traps, and everybody hates hand traps, so you want to deal with them. 2 copies of Twin Twisters, because you don't mind ditching cards from your hand to the graveyard, and just popping your opponent's back row. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. And then we also have the one-offs of the spells, which is 1 copy of Ignite Reload, which if you want to shuffle your dead pendulum cards from your deck to from your hand to your deck is really good. I mean, if you want to run as well like the Deskbot base with 2 terraformings or whatever, you're more than welcome to. I just like find out like 1 reload is actually better to run a Deskbot base, but you're more than welcome to run Deskbot base if you don't have like if you want to run that instead of Urgent Schedule or whatever. So 1 copy of Ignite Reload in my opinion is really good, giving you a +1 as well. You don't really draw after that, and it's also a really good way to not only shuffle your Deskbot pendulums, but also to shuffle your Symphonic Warriors if you're seeing your mics and you don't want to see them in your hand. Then 1 copy of Reasoning, because all of your monsters are different levels, and your opponent probably never going to call the right one, so why not use it? 1 for 1 for Deskbot 1 and or Glow-a-Bulb. 1 Foolish Barrel to put Deskbot 1 or Glow-a-Bulb or whatever Deskbot card you want in the grave. And then 1 Monster Reborn, because it's very self-explanatory in almost every single deck ever. And that pretty much does it for the main deck. Now we'll move on to the extra deck. So first off, for the extra deck, we're going to start with the Synchros. One copy of Jet. I think it's normal, it's understandable, it's a really good card going second. It's pretty much, I believe, a Scrap Dragon, I think, is the best way to put it. It's very, very strong, it's very, very good, and it's not that hard to bring out, even if you think like it's very, very hard. It's really fun card, and it just really, really helps the deck quite a bit. So one copy of Deskbot Jet for the more going second plays. One Trish if you're going first mostly, or just in general if you want to get rid of problems in your opponent's hand, a field or a grave, and like, you know, one of each, which is really, really useful as well. One Black Rose to wipe up the field. One Coral Dragon, which could be Starter Charge Warrior or whatever you find. I just wanted an additional level 6 for the going second option, because this card specifically is not only just that, he's also a draw card, and then he's also a tuner, so you can just take, for example, like another level 4 and then make the Deskbot base, which is really, really cool. So, you know, one copy of Coral Dragon is actually really, really nice. And then for the going first option, if I have to, I run one Barkion and one Notoria Beast, because you can make those quite easily in this deck, so why not run them? And then for the Xyz, one Cybernova and one Cyber Infinity. I just don't think you need to explain why those two are really, really great in here as well. And then Lynx, one Proxy Dragon if I need the extra zones, and it's also very, very generic. One Mrs. Radiant because it's awesome in this deck. All of your monsters are Earth almost, like, you know, the important ones, and boosting all of them by 500 is really good. One Genius because you can get a search if you have a Genius and then like a Deskbot 2 here, and then target Deskbot 2 with a Machine Dupe, so you're getting 3 searches with one card, which is absolutely insane. So one Genius is actually really good. One Cerberus against monsters. One Phoenix against spells and traps. One so-called unicorn, because I don't really have the unicorn money for the unicorn, but this is my unicorn for spinning up cards back into the deck. And then one copy of Borreload, which could be Borrelsword if you prefer, for going into the aggressive OTK if you feel like it. And that pretty much does it for the extra deck and does it for the deck profile, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, if you guys have any other suggestions how to make this deck better, let me know in the comments down below. It's pretty easy also to put this deck a side deck for going first, because there's some particular cards that you need to change in the main, like I said, like your more go aggressive cards, like where is it? Give me a second. Urgent Schedule, if you have the money for it. So, you know, just the go aggressive cards, you can just change them to go first cards. And just in general, it's a very, very fun deck. Even going first, you have options, like I said, Barkion and Beast, which are in your extra deck, so you have yourself covered like that. And it's an overall really, really fun deck. Overall, really, really budget. Borreload or Borrelsword, you can just switch it for like a triple burst, which I forgot to say. But mostly, the deck is pretty cheap. Like, I don't think except from Urgent Schedule and Borreload or Borrelsword, you have anything else that is like over like maybe $10. So, you know, just not really that insane. Like, most of the cards are like 25 cents a piece, even less than that. So, yeah. Really fun deck, really, really good, and I hope you guys enjoyed this update. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you do. Let me know in the comments down below if you think there are a few things that I forgot or I need to change in your opinion. I will consider them for the next update, and I'll see you guys next time. Remember, creativity is the key in this game. Have a good day, guys. Stay safe, and soon we're going to have, hopefully at the end of this week, the Trickstar deck profile, which I promised for you guys for the 4th deck profile from Choose Your Deck Profile. It's a very, very I'm going to do the more competitive one that I can do with the cards that I have. So look forward to that. And until that, guys, have a good day, guys, or week, or whatever, and stay safe. Don't do anything stupid, and see you guys next time.